Ever wondered how the visual appeal of a product can enhance your user experience? Well, that's the magic of visual design. It's an essential part of UI/UX design, adding aesthetic charm and defining the overall vibe of a product. Visual design is not just about creating pretty interfaces, it's a blend of various elements. Typography, color, iconography, and imagery all come together to create a visually engaging and cohesive user interface. And it doesn't stop there. Visual design is also about adapting to different platforms like web, mobile, and desktop applications. Each platform has its unique needs, and the challenge lies in creating designs that maintain consistency and familiarity across all devices and screen sizes. So, how do we create visually appealing and effective designs? Well, the journey begins with understanding the key components of visual design. So, get ready as we delve into the fascinating world of visual design. First, let's discuss typography, a fundamental aspect of visual design. Typography is much more than just selecting a pretty font. It's about communication, hierarchy, and accessibility. It's a powerful tool that can significantly enhance the user experience when used effectively. Imagine typography as the voice of your design. It communicates information, establishes a visual hierarchy, and sets the mood. It can scream loudly or whisper softly. It can guide users through your design, emphasizing the crucial parts and subtly downplaying the less important ones. Now, when it comes to font selection, there are a few key aspects to consider. Readability, legibility, and consistency are the trifecta for an effective font selection. Readability refers to how easy it is to read words, sentences, and paragraphs. Legibility, on the other hand, is about how easily individual letters or characters can be distinguished from each other. Consistency, the third aspect, ensures that your design feels unified and cohesive. You might be thinking, how do I achieve all of that? Well, it's a bit of an art and a bit of a science. Experiment with different font families, weights, and sizes. Try pairing a bold, attention-grabbing headline font with a simple, easily readable font for the body text. Consider the context and audience. A font that works well for a children's book might not be the best choice for a financial report, and vice versa. Striking the right balance between aesthetics and usability is key. Aesthetic choices can create a unique identity and mood, but they should never compromise usability. If your users can't read or understand your content, then even the most beautiful typography won't save your design. The world of typography is vast and full of possibilities. Don't be afraid to explore, experiment, and learn. But always keep your users' needs in mind. After all, good design is not just about looking good. It's about solving problems and meeting users' needs in the most effective and enjoyable way. Remember, the right typography can make your content accessible and engaging, enhancing the overall user experience. Next on the list is color theory, a powerful tool in visual design. Colors, they're more than just decorative elements. They have a unique language, and when used thoughtfully, they can evoke specific emotions, influence user perception, and significantly boost user engagement. Think about the last time you used an app or visited a website. The colors used there were not chosen randomly. Every hue has a purpose, a message, and an emotion attached to it. That's where color theory comes into play. It's a framework that designers use to understand how colors interact, how they affect one another, and how they influence us emotionally and psychologically. Let's take blue, for instance. It's often associated with trust, calm, and reliability. That's why you'll see it so often in banking or healthcare apps. On the other hand, a color like red can symbolize love, but it can also signal danger or urgency. That's why it's commonly used for error messages or call to action buttons. But it's not just about individual colors, it's about how they work together. That's where color palettes come into the picture. A color palette is a selection of colors used consistently throughout a design. It ensures visual consistency and helps establish a strong brand identity. When selecting a color palette, there are a few factors to consider. Firstly, the brand identity. The colors should align with the brand's personality and values. Secondly, accessibility. The colors should provide sufficient contrast to ensure readability for all users, including those with visual impairments. Lastly, cultural associations. Colors can have different meanings in different cultures, so it's important to consider your target audience. And remember, a good color scheme is balanced. It has room for bold, attention-grabbing colors, but it also includes neutral shades to provide visual rest. It's like a well-composed piece of music where every note has a role to play. Choosing the right colors can evoke the desired emotions and perceptions, so choose wisely. Moving on to iconography and imagery, crucial elements in visual design. Icons are more than just decorative elements. They serve as visual cues representing actions, objects, or concepts. By simplifying complex interactions, icons enhance user understanding, making the interface more intuitive and user-friendly. When designing icons, it's essential to maintain consistency with the overall visual language of the interface. Imagine icons as a form of visual shorthand. They should be instantly recognizable, conveying their meaning at a glance. To achieve this, your icon should be simple and unambiguous. Avoid intricate designs that could confuse users or take time to decipher. Consistency is key. If you use a particular icon to represent a function in one part of your interface, the same icon should represent the same function throughout. This consistency helps users learn and remember your interface's visual language, improving their experience and increasing their efficiency. Consider the style and aesthetic of your interface when designing your icons. They should harmoniously blend with your interface's other elements, adhering to the same color palette, line thickness, and design style. Now, let's talk about imagery. Images can evoke emotions and convey complex information quickly and effectively. They can capture users' attention, making your interface more engaging and memorable. But remember, every image you include should serve a purpose, whether that's to communicate information, set a mood, or guide users' attention. Choose images that align with your brand and your interface's overall aesthetic. The images should be high quality and relevant to your content. And just like with icons, consistency is important. Consistent imagery style contributes to a cohesive user experience, reinforcing your brand and making your interface more visually appealing. Remember to consider accessibility when incorporating images. Use alt text for images to ensure those using screen readers can understand their content. With the right icons and imagery, you can simplify user interactions and create a more engaging user experience. Finally, let's discuss designing for different platforms, a must-know for every UI/UX designer. The digital world is a vast landscape, with users accessing content from a range of devices, including desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. As a designer, it's your responsibility to ensure that your design can seamlessly adapt to each of these platforms, providing a consistent and familiar user experience. Designing for different platforms isn't just about resizing. It's about understanding the unique characteristics, guidelines, and limitations of each platform. Take, for instance, a website and a mobile application. While they might deliver the same content, the way users interact with them differs significantly. A website might afford the luxury of a larger screen and more complex navigation, while a mobile application needs to deliver the same content in a more compact and touch-friendly manner. Each platform has its unique design guidelines. Apple's Human Interface Guidelines and Google's Material Design are two prime examples. These guidelines provide a comprehensive framework for designing user interfaces, including layout principles, navigation patterns, and interaction guidelines. Adapting your visual design to suit the specific platform is key. This involves making sure that typography is legible across different screen sizes, colors are visible under various lighting conditions, and interactive elements are easily accessible and intuitive regardless of the device being used. But remember, while it's important to adhere to platform-specific guidelines, it's equally crucial to maintain consistency in your design. Users should be able to recognize and interact with your design, whether they're on a desktop at work, a tablet on their couch, or a smartphone on the move. Consistency doesn't mean uniformity, it's about creating a sense of familiarity. This can be achieved by maintaining a consistent visual language, such as using similar iconography, typography, and color schemes across different platforms. To recap, designing for different platforms involves understanding the unique guidelines and limitations of each platform, adapting your design to suit these specifics, and maintaining a consistent and familiar visual language. Remember, adapting your design for different platforms can ensure a consistent and familiar user experience for all users, regardless of the device they use. So, there you have it, the key components of visual design. We've delved into the importance of typography, the art of choosing and arranging fonts to communicate information effectively, and color theory, which can heavily influence user perception and engagement. We've also explored the role of iconography, where visual cues represent actions, objects, or concepts, and the significance of tailoring designs to different platforms, ensuring consistency and familiarity for users across various devices and screen sizes. Let's not forget that visual design isn't just about aesthetics, it serves a functional purpose, guiding users' attention, emphasizing important elements, and improving readability. It's about striking the right balance and maintaining a consistent visual style, all while reflecting your brand's personality and values. With these insights, you're well on your way to mastering visual design in UI/UX. Keep experimenting, keep learning, and remember, great design is all about creating exceptional user experiences.